Let's dive into this, bitches. Hello, my little crumbs, and welcome to a very dramatic episode of Toast Talks, a show where Toast talks. My name is Toast, and today we're going to be reviewing the Boulay Brothers Dragula Titans, Season 9, Season 2, Episode 9, The Last Supper Reunion. And y'all, this episode was a 3-course meal. Truly so much meaty, juicy drama to get into. And honey, I've got the toast to sop it all up. But before we get into that, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to ding dong on that motherfucking bell, honey. Ding dong on that bell. You know, making these videos has been such a labor of love. So, you know, please don't be shy. Show me some love back, honey. You know you want to. You guys, I made this really cunty nail. And I had another nail for this finger. But then I sliced this finger open today. And I cannot wear the nail. But we've got one nail, and so I'm gonna flaunt it. I'm gonna flaunt it, honey. I'm gonna flaunt what I got, okay? Without any further ado, let's hop right in because we have so much to get into. So let's get into this episode. So in the intro, the rug reveals that not only is he a Sigourney stan, which I thought was interesting lore, but apparently he also hates Golden Girls. So we're learning more about Rug each and every day. And I just know that one day we will have his full backstory. Also, bold choice to be a Sigourney stan in this climate. That's all I'm gonna say. And then we jump right in with this beautiful opening package. It shows all of the ghouls getting ready, interlaced with clips of like what we're about to see and the drama that's about to unfold. Plus we get some really good B-roll and some clips of them, you know, talking with the producers. They like predict what is gonna unfold before they hit the main stage. There's also like, there were so many moments that just made me cackle during this segment. And we get not one, but 2 different vape shots in this segment. And both of them are from Dahlia. There's this close-up one that is smoke shot number 12. And then there's also this other one that they show right after. Her just sitting alone in the room. That one really sad, but it did make me cackle. And that is lucky smoke shot number 13. Oh my god, and then also in this segment, Disaster Arena references the meme of that guy with the shark teeth. And he's like, my main goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody. There's also a clip of her calling Priscilla a drunken thought, which is just a vocal stem that has quickly entered my vocabulary, and I love that for me. Oh my god, and then there's this one clip of Sigourney talking to one of like the producers or something, and she's like, I didn't get myself eliminated. The Boulets did not eliminate me. This is solely on Eva. And then she's like, Eva Destruction is about to get Eva destroyed. Please, please. Please, you guys, really, it is too much. It is really too much. But this beginning segment was really just chef's kiss reality television right there. So they're introducing everyone, and Drac gets to Loris and genuinely cannot tell who she is. Girl, that's how you know that her illusion is fierce, mama. They also inform us that since Jade and Zavaleta were disqualified, they won't be at the reunion, which I guess I understand their reasoning for not inviting Jade and Zava back. Although I feel like there's a universe in which we get the Jade and Zava reunion where like the mess is just like even more off the charts than they already were. But you know, considering that this episode already over-delivered, I don't really think I'm too pressed about it. But I am definitely sad that they won't be there because there's some moments where I really wish they were. really wish they were. They cut to a shot of JK looking absolutely over the moon. I'm guessing that their friendship didn't quite blossom after Zava's apology. Eee. And Jay's reactions all episode, and really in these last 3 episodes, it really has just been chef's kiss. Like, I don't know, my eyes keep going to Jay. Like, he just keeps having the best reaction shots of the whole goddamn thing. And it's incredible. It's great. I feel like now while they're introducing everybody, this would be a fabulous time to talk about their looks this evening. So right off the top, I have to say, Trendler, black and red. I don't know if they were like asked to do that, but I thought it was interesting that pretty much everyone wore black and red, and that was kind of the color palette. There were some other colors thrown in the mix too, but that was definitely a thing. And I mean, girl, I'm literally doing the same thing, so it's tea. But I just thought it was interesting. You guys, I forgot to talk about the look that I'm doing today, so taking a second to talk about that in full body view so that you can see what we're working with. But yeah, it's very girl in a black dress. It's very yeasty. These are real genuine pieces of bread right here that I spray painted gold. And they're being held up by the grace of God right now. And God is good. God is good. And that's the look for today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm a baby. So I'm gonna go in the order that they were introduced. So first up we have Abora. I love this look. The cut up baby heads with like the wire. Love that. The like ridiculous wig situation. It's crazy in just the way that I expect from Abora, and I live. So next up is Jaharia, and I think that she looks beautiful in this like patent leather, you know, mini dress with this red updo. Yeah, she looks gorgeous. So Sigourney is up next, and she looks beautiful, you know, in this piss yellow wig with this beautiful black dress. So next is Loris, and Loris is here as a widowed Cyclops. First of all, obsessed. The makeup is incredible. The veil with the freaking curtain, you guys. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that was such a gag. The little claw arm things that are like coming out of her shoulders. I just love it. I think Loris looks incredible. I also just want to take a second too, while we're talking about this, to give Loris her flowers, because I feel like she is such an inspiration in terms of like turning fierce looks, and I feel like she is sort of slept on sometimes. But no, this girl is really fierce, and she turns some fierce ass fucking looks. And girl, I love Loris. Like, she's such an icon. Y'all, Frankie Doom is up next, and she looks so snatched. Are you kidding? I love this like 2-piece with like the spiderweb pattern on it. She just looks hot. She looks hot. And I am looking respectfully. So Priscilla's, I think I'm having a stroke. No, that's after this. So Priscilla Chambers is up next, and she looks beautiful in this like black crushed velvet dress, which apparently Sigourney altered for her. She mentions that in one of the breaks, and she's wicked shady about it. It was crazy. But yeah, she looks good. I love her cock cage necklace. I think she looks so pretty. Love you, Priscilla. Mwah. I feel like I keep trying to figure out like which heart symbol I can do with nails. I think it's just, we gotta do this. We gotta do this. Because if we try to do this, then it's like, you know, it gets too much like Illuminati. Which we could be giving Illuminati, but I'm too expensive for them. So next is Eva Destruction, giving us glamour and a little bit of sexy with this like lacy see-through dress and this like fuck off fur coat. I think she looks really great. And I love the hair too. There's like a little hand made out of hair. Yeah, I think she looks cool. So next is JK, who is here in a like Panic at the Disco t-shirt dress ass situation. Honestly, this is not one of my favorite looks from Jay. I feel like I like it in concept. I'm never mad at like a t-shirt dress situation, but I feel like the shape is just like a little like blobby. I don't know. Like I feel like she could have, I don't know, put like a belt on there or like a corset or something. I feel like that would have gone like a really long way to elevating the look a little bit. But where it's at right now, I'm not like obsessed. It's, you know, it's all right. But Jay's makeup always looks really incredible. And I do have to say that. Oh my God, y'all, Cynthia Doll is up next and she looks so gorgeous. What the hell? This is like giving her gothic bride a run for her money because damn, she looks like really, really good with all this like satin, these like big billowy sleeves. Yeah, she just looks expansive, honey. So next it's Zastarina. And she's got this black dress on. Girl, she's got a black dress on with this like geometric pattern. And, you know, she looks okay. Honestly, not my favorite Disastarina look, but, you know, I love her and I love it. Love the silver grill too. I feel like that's a really fun detail. I do really like that. So Blackberry's here in this Grace Jones inspired look. She looks absolutely fierce. I'm like, she's giving us body. She's giving us black and red sequins. And her hair and makeup is incredible. She looks fierce. And she looks like she's about ready to cut a bitch. And last but certainly not least is Dahlia Black. And she's looking sexy and deadly in this black dress. How many times can I say queen stuns in black dress this episode? I guess 14 times. 12 times. I don't know. But yeah, she looks hot. So they start us off by talking to the season 1 and season 2 ghouls about their time on the show. And Disastarina apologizes for sending Frankie home on a coin flip. But then she admits to Frankie that she was on the heads and the tails of the coin. So, girl, which is it? Like, those are not great odds. Oh my God, and then we also get another addition to the smoke counter with this lovely shot of Dahlia vaping while Loris is talking, making this smoke shot number 14. Ding! They also show this shot of Loris while Disastarina is talking, and this bitch rigged a whole goddamn curtain so she could take a sip of her drink. Like, this bitch is like an engineer out here. Like, what is going on? It's crazy. So the Boulets ask what it was like for the older and newer season Titans to clash. And they all kind of hype each other up for a little, and they give each other their flowers. The segment is honestly super wholesome, and I really did like that. For as much drama as there was this episode, there was also, I feel like, equally as many wholesome moments, and then like kind of lifting each other up. So I thought that that was really, really nice to see, actually. And then they go on break, and I love when they do these segments because they always have me fucking howling, you guys. Just too many funny moments in a row to list them all. But I will say, we get smoke shot number 15 with this shot of Cynthia sharing her vape with Priscilla. Okay, so here I didn't realize until editing this that Cynthia also hits the vape before handing it to Priscilla. So this is technically smoke shot 15 and this is smoke shot 16. Ugh, gonna have to do some dubbing later. And then we come back from break and get into some of the wild shit from this season. They ask Dahlia to like kind of address her behavior on the show, and she like kind of doesn't really. A lot of deflection, a lot of being defensive, and y'all, the reactions of everyone as Dahlia is like, you have your truth, I have mine. Because I know that that's how I would have been reacting. I would have been like, because like, she could sit here and say that, but at the same time, she did go to the producers. Like, I don't know. And Drac does call her in on that too, which I thought was very, very nice. Like, they don't really play around with that kind of stuff. But yeah, these reaction shots are so good, y'all. I'm gonna show some of my favorites here. So they kind of reveal a little more of what Dahlia was doing behind the scenes that we didn't get to see on the show, including this whole incident with Loris, where Dahlia went to production saying that she was like passed out in a bathtub. And they even go so far as to show like a transcription of what I'm assuming is the actual phone call between Dahlia and production, of which I will obviously now be giving a dramatic reading. The course of 40 minutes, Jasmine. 40 minutes, okay? And like Cynthia and Eva as my witness. It was 40 minutes and I finally opened the door. She's butt naked, floating in the tub, like completely passed the fuck out. And I like checked to see if she had headphones and stuff. No headphones. I start panicking. She's naked, so I feel really uncomfortable and I'm covering my eyes like Loris, she finally... And scene. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Please hold your applause. Okay, wow. Y'all, like, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this on a reality TV show. Like, with the receipts and everything. Just, like, really, really wild shit. It's, like, kind of crazy. And it's just another one of those things that just, unfortunately doesn't make it look very good for Dahlia and how she's coming across on the show. And again, I feel like I need to make this clear. Please don't send Dahlia any hate at all. Please just send her the most love on her healing journey, you know? She's even made a post saying that she's going to therapy, y'all, so don't even worry about it. This is a TV show where these people are like under an insane amount of pressure, and so that's bound to lead to some, you know, conflicts that ultimately, you know, create some amazing television. But there's also, you know, these people's lives and images. So yeah, let's just make sure to send all of these ghouls some extra love for their hard work on this season, okay? So then Eva jumps in and is like, the only thing that I was here to do was listen. But you know what? I'm done. Eva's really had it, you guys. Officially. Eva's like gesticulating and Jay is doing that thing again where she's like, copycatting. It's just so silly. I love when Jay does that. Again, just like stealing all of the camera time. And like throughout this whole segment with Dahlia, she only really issues an apology to one person, and that is to Loris. But she still never really takes accountability or even like shows that she understands like how what she did could have been hurtful to the people around her. And that's where I kind of start to lose sympathy for her. They address Drunkgate with Priscilla and Jade. Well, sans Jade. Priscilla explains that Blackberry gave her a bottle of Tito's that was already half empty. And so basically what happened is Dahlia like assumed that Priscilla had been drinking a bunch. And so that is the tea. And then Jaharia basically breaks the whole thing down for Dahlia. And she's like, there were things going on around the room that was not any of your business. And you're hiding behind this, oh, I was concerned. But if you were really that concerned, you could have been there for them as a sister in that moment. But you went to production every time, maliciously. Okay, Jaharia, call her ass out. Yes! Like, thank you. And it was so succinct. And then after they all air out their beefs with Dahlia, they go to break. And Dahlia leaves the set, and she's like, I want to go home. I feel a little cuckoo bananas. It's definitely a wild way to say that you need to leave the reunion, but I respect it. I respect it. I really do. I also have to say, I really love the backroom vibes of this part. Like, they show us like more like backroom footage, and like it got me thinking that they should really do like a backrooms challenge, and like they just are like eldritch bitches running around backstage. Like, that would be kind of pussy. Girl, this nail is so good. So we come back, sans Dahlia, and we start diving into Pinky Promise Gate between Cynthia and Blackberry. And Blackberry absolutely lets this little girl have it. She breaks it down point by point. And what's wild is Cynthia, like, totally understands that what she did was rude and malicious, but she still, like, did it anyway.
Yeah.
But it is really vindicating to, like, hear Blackberry explain the whole thing to her and just be like, no, like, I have not seen, like, a sorry. My heart really did go out to Cynthia, though, when she said that she did just really want to understand, because oh boy, have I been there, where you just really want to like understand somebody else's side of it. But Eva said it best. Sometimes you just need time to sit with it and to learn and grow as a person. Mwah. So yeah, I am loving being able to sit down today. This is so fabulous. I feel like Diane motherfucking Sawyer, honey. So then they talk about Jaharia being a messy cunt. Loved that. And I also loved that there was this one moment where like Sigourney was like, oh, is it worth it? And Jaharia was like, well, yes. She's like, yeah, absolutely. And I'm like, yeah. Like, I don't even really know what Sigourney was trying to get out of her there. I'm like, oh, yes, it's fun being a messy cunt. It is always worth it being a messy cunt. I'm like, hello? What program do you think you signed up for? The Boulets also take a second to tell Blackberry how much they appreciate her. And I did love seeing that. Another wholesome moment. And, you know, she's like crying and, you know, she's, you know, getting sensitive. And Sigourney brings over a little hanky for her. I thought that that was another really wholesome moment. I'm like, you guys, there's so much wholesome energy in this reunion. It's great. And then we get another break and a shot of Cynthia vaping, making this smoke shot number 17. And I mean, this is what I'm talking about when I say that the episode over-delivers. It's got drama. It's got wholesome moments. It's got vaping. What else do you need in a reality television program? Like, come on. And with that, we are like halfway through, you guys. Also, hey, just taking a quick second here during the break. I just need to ask one tiny little favor. Would you just please drop a like on this video and check to see if you're subscribed? Pretty please. Thanks, babe. Mwah. Now let's get back to the video. So then we get into the biggest rivalry of this season, Eva versus Sigourney. And y'all, there was so much juicy shit in this episode. Like, I forgot how good this interaction was because I was too busy focusing on the Dahlia interaction and the stuff that comes after this. And like, it's just so good. It's so good. This is such an amazing 10 minutes of reality television. I also feel like this is a really good time to mention they apparently filmed this last supper before the season aired. So I think this is the first time Eva like would have seen or heard the shit that Sigourney said right after she got eliminated. And I feel like that also explains why Sigourney and Dahlia were maybe having like a hard time reckoning with some of the stuff that they did and how they came across on TV, because they didn't even get a chance to see the season beforehand. At least that's what I think happened. And honestly, I love the way that Eva handled this interaction. She was like, I wanted to prove that I could make a decision for myself, and I did. Surprise. And Sigourney was just like hella defensive during this whole thing. She's, I don't know, obviously still feeling very hurt by Eva's decision, and she is taking it very personally, which is fine. It's, you know, her prerogative. But it is interesting considering that thing that Jay said where it's like, you know, she would turn to people and be like, well, that's just the game that we're playing. Well, that's just the game. Well, you know, and then, you know, you can't take it personal. Well, you can. You can. And she did. But it's just a little strange. It's a little strange. It is. Oh, this is another line from Eva that I love. She was like, everything everyone has said about you is coming into the light. And she like breaks it down that, you know, it wasn't personal, it was a part of the game. Exactly. Thank you. And Sigourney was like, of course I took it personally. There was no other way to take it. At a certain point, I don't know, I am kind of like, Sigourney's just really butthurt. That's it. I also like that Eva like calls out her snide comments, like the, are you sure? Your funeral, you know, like that, those kinds of things. And Sigourney's like, when did I ever do that? Girl, roll the fucking tapes. Like, that is crazy. And that is one of those moments that makes me think that she hadn't seen the season. Because if she had seen the season recently, she would have known damn well that she did that a lot. It was like a central storyline of this whole season. And Eva's like, the decision that I made was based on the competition. I never had a problem with you. Girl, I hate to go line by line like this, but like there were genuinely just so many good quotable moments. Like I genuinely feel like I need to do like a tier list of all the different quotes from this episode because there was too many good ones. And then Priscilla jumps in and asks if Eva would have done the same thing for her, if she would have sent her home too. And then Disasterina is like, Priscilla, you're not a heavy hitter. Go home, you drunken thought. God, I love Disasterina. That woman is so funny. Her just like making faces this episode and her just like jumping in to like say little quippy remarks. Just chef's kiss. And then Eva calls Sigourney out about her like, don't you want good competition remark? And JK is like, okay, so who wasn't good competition? And Sigourney is like, can you shut up for 5 seconds? I'm like, ooh. The mask is like really slipping off a little bit, I think, for her at this point. And she's getting really heated. And then Jay is like, you literally turned to me coldly after every gallows and said, well, that's the name of the game. But then you go home and you're blowing everything up. And Jay like continues and he's like, you lost. You're done. You're out. You didn't make it to the finale that you thought you were owed. And you need to become at peace with that. Again, JK is the MVP of this reunion. I don't give a fuck. Like, that's such a good line. You lost. You're done. You're out. You didn't make it to the finale you thought you were owed, and you need to become at peace with that. That is like icon shit right there. Then Sigourney tried to say that Jay flipped on her too, and that they like had a friendship, and then she seems to be mad because she's like, you know, shared personal moments with Jay. But then Eva's like, oh, why don't you tell Jay what you thought about living with them? And then Sigourney is like, to Jay, I think you're irritating. You called me out. You blindsided me on some shit, and I accepted your apology and you turned around and you did it again. Now we're blindsiding people. Somebody call Sandra Bullock because we're blindsiding people. And then the Boulets ask who Sigourney would have sent home. And she says that she would have sent home JK because she liked Jay the least. Which is like objectively wild because Jay did really good that week. But whatevs. And then Sigourney brings up the pact that she made, you know, with Eva and Abora. And Abora's like, I didn't say anything, you know, that was not me co-signing. Like, I hate to break it down line by line. Actually, I don't even hate to break it down line by line. This is the juicy shit. I'm actually very, very excited to be digging into this. Then Jay brings up the fabulous point. Somebody telling you how you come across sometimes doesn't mean that they're not your friend. And you need real bitches to tell you when you're a fuck up. And then Sigourney's like, oh, are those the same real bitches that would like go behind my back? Which again is wild because she was talking shit behind people's backs too, which Jay calls out. She's like, what did you say behind my back? Let's talk about this. Because I heard you were pissed that I made it to the finale. And Sig was like, I was surprised, backpedaling. She was like, I wasn't pissed, blah, 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 blah. They are still very, very heated, Jay and Sigourney. After all of that, Blackberry chimes in and she says, can we just go back to calling me pretty? To be fair, I think that we could all stand to do that more. Y'all, I'm getting distracted like a cat. Right? Guys, what am I doing with my life? Then they go on break again. They go on break again. They have a lot of breaks. Oh my god, I actually do need a breather. Ooh, okay. See, this episode, I feel like it feels weird pace-wise because there's no challenge, there's no runway, It's just them talking about and rehashing drama, which is what I fucking live for. I'm a messy bitch who lives for drama, and that's that on that. Period, poo. And we get another 2 shots of Cynthia hitting the vape. This one is smoke shot 18. And this one is smoke shot 19. Yeah, you like that? I'm getting crazy with the edits now. Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, this episode alone has really validated my decision to include the smoke shot counter. So they're on break, and Sigourney turns back to Priscilla and is like, where were you? Saying that you would jump in to defend me. Priscilla's like, I've been behind you the entire time, haven't I? You guys, like, I literally can't. She's so fucking funny. I love her. And then, this is also crazy. There's this shot of Jay, like, laying on the floor, like, right in front of Sigourney. And Jay's talking to Abora. And Jay's like, no, I think you were an asshole. And, like, I'm not gonna talk about all of the shit that happened off camera. Like, and he's like right in front of her. It's like so fucking funny, you guys. Like, what? Oh my god. Diva, we wish you would. Diva, we wish you would talk about all the stuff that happened off camera. We motherfucking wish you would. So they come back from break and we get some listener questions. These were ranging from like pretty silly to pretty crazy. I won't go over all of them, but the first one was for Dahlia, which they totally did not have to leave that in, but it's really fucking funny that they did. And it's really fucking funny how many times they cut to the empty chair this episode when they just really did not need to. Just like the editors are on their savagery yet again, and it's great. They asked JK about their relationships with Zava and Sigourney going forward, and Jay is like, Zava's dead to me. We had a cute little moment, but she revealed to me who I thought she was after that cute little moment. And he continues, and he's like, I'm completely done with the fact that she was on here really talking out of her fucking ass about someone stole someone's man. She was a messy bitch who cheated on him left and right. You lost your man because you're disgusting. And I'm sorry that he found someone better. Jay is the MVP, hands down. Boots. Like, line after line. You lost your man because you're disgusting. That's another phrase that's now entered my vocabulary. Thank you very much. And like, this is one of those moments where I really do wish that they would have let Zava and Jade come back, because I would have loved to see just like, I don't know, Zava be able to defend herself, or at least like, you know, own up to it, or like have something to say. And like similarly with Jade, I would have loved to see more from her too regardless, you know? But alas. Abora even makes a joke about that too. She's like, we have Zava right here, bring her out. So again, would have loved to see it. And y'all, the foot fetishists, I fear, have won again this episode, as we get a reprise of Abora and Priscilla's foot touching moment. Or I guess I should call it a touching foot moment. And back to Jay. Jay thinks Sigourney is an asshole. And Sig thinks that Jay is an asshole. But Jay does take a moment to give Sigourney her flowers for paving the way for drag artists, regardless of their gender assigned at birth. And it was another really wholesome moment, and I liked that. And I really respect that JK can exist in a space of duality, where he's like, yeah, I think you're an ass, but I also respect you and your drag and what you've done. Like, we need more of that in 2026. Like, more, I hate your guts, but you also have done a lot of good things too. It's called nuance, honey. You know, that's a big word for some of us, but we can learn. I was not prepared for this next question. It was pretty intense. It was pretty severe. And I don't even really know if I can talk about it on this almost puritanical, vaguely Christian website. But Nicholas from Chicago asks, Frankie, can you show us that ass? And so she does. And I'm looking very respectfully. Oh, I don't know, y'all. She did say that she'd send nudes. Should I ask her for some? Another question that we get is from Sydney from Rhode Island, who asks Jay about them calling Jaharia's Nosferatu outfit cute. And so Jay talks about the difference between, you girls look good, and you girls look good. Oh my god, and then they ask questions that have been anonymously submitted by the cast, and this is where it gets messy. Somebody asks Abora if she even has the confidence to win this season. And she gives a pretty good answer, I think. She's like, I don't think that anybody would be here if they didn't have the confidence for that, you know? Like, why would you be here if you didn't think that you could win? Which is tea. Delusion. Convince yourself. Someone asks Cynthia why she monologues in a language all her own, and she doesn't understand the question. They ask who should have gone home earlier, and Blackberry says Dahlia, and they cut to the chair again. This is like the third or fourth time that they've done that at this point. It's really, the editors remain savage, as always. So somebody also asks who was playing the victim the most this season, and Jay says Sigourney, but almost everyone else agrees that it's Dahlia. And Priscilla even breaks it down and really explains it well, you know? She's like, she was with this, and that, and the third. And she was like acting as though she wasn't. Oh my god, then this was like really crazy. Somebody asks, Sigourney, have you made any friends this season? Or are you just a bitter, cold, uncaring, unfeeling witch? Jesus fucking Christ, you guys! Like, what the hell? Now, this is where I'm gonna call a flag on the play. To call an AFAB person a witch just kind of reeks of misogyny to me. Like, even if she didn't come across the best way this season, that really did like hurt my heart to hear. And I'm like, shame on whoever asked that question in that way. Like, what the fuck? Nobody owns up to writing that either, but like, damn, that's low. But it does lead to one of my favorite lines this season from Cynthia, which is, sometimes the way that you comes across a certain way. You guys, her mind. She's like literally playing like 5D chess and we're playing like fucking hopscotch. But then she does say that she sees through it and that she likes her a lot. And that's like where we end off that part of the reunion, which was like a little bit of a shady note to leave off on, but then it kind of turned wholesome, which is sort of the thesis of this whole episode, to be honest. And then they reveal to the top three that there has been a shadow game being played in the background. And they reveal that Sigourney, Jaharia, and Cynthia Dahl are gonna lip sync to see who will move on to the grand finale. Mwahaha. Yeah. And Priscilla's like in the background. She's like, I didn't win. I got sent home again. You guys, she's so fucking funny. I love that woman. Yeah. Truly justice for Priscilla. She didn't need to go home when she did. IMO. And so the three of them go up to lip sync. They're lip syncing to Time to Die by the Boulay Brothers. I love that they're doing like a classic Boulay song, you know, pulling it from the archives. And this lip sync, you know, it was 2/3 epic and 1/3 tragic. Overall, an absolutely exquisite. Because I really try so hard. All in all, pretty exquisite lip sync. Jaharia was an absolute pleasure to watch. She like did a reveal, you know, she was giving us like high energy, movement, stunts. And you know, her facial expressions are always like so captivating. I just thought that she did a great job. Cynthia also did a really good job. She like starts by like, you know, shedding some layers and she just gives like a really committed performance the whole way through. And at the end, you know, she like runs backstage and like pulls, you know, like a bloody chalice out and just like pours blood on herself. Hot take, I mean, And spoiler alert, I think that moment actually kind of lost the lip sync for her, because I recently heard on the Boulets pod, that they're like kind of over the whole blood coming out of the mouth thing, which isn't exactly the same thing, but you know, similar. So I think that costed it for her. But that's just an allegation. Oh, and then we have Sigourney. Poor Sigourney, you guys. Like the whole time, I just literally kept being like, come on, Charlie, do something. I do get what she was going for. Like the standing in your power kind of moment. She like had her roses that she was like plucking and throwing to the ground. Like that was cool. And like, you know, to give her flowers, she did have a really cool moment where she like lit her middle finger on fire and flicked everyone off. Thought that was cool. But yeah, I don't know, I kind of wish that she would have made like Britney Spears and gave us a little bit more, honey. And so with that, the winner of the lip sync is Jaharia. Woo! And so she will be moving on to the grand finale. And honestly, I have reasons why I would want to see finale looks from both Cynthia and Sigourney, but ultimately I'm so stoked for Jaharia that she gets the opportunity to show us more. The Boulets wrap up by saying that they never know when the Boulets might come calling again. Which, I mean, I love that. They, like, really do, like, want their competitors to, like, be a part of their world, you know, in this sort of revolving door kind of way. And it's cool to see them, you know, welcome the ghouls back time and time again. I can't wait to see who the first Jujubee of the franchise is. Will it be Abora? Probably. Is she gonna come back for Titans 3? We'll see. And I mean, not for nothing, but I've heard rumors that the season 7 cast is like got a couple of returning ghouls in it too. So I love that it's like not even just exclusive to a Titan season. It's like it could come back on a regular season. And on that surprisingly wholesome note, we have come to the end of the episode and the conclusion of another fierce episode of Toast Talks, the show where Toast talks. My name is Toast, and you guys know the tea. If you made it to the end of the episode, thank you so much from the bottom of my yeasty, moist heart. And do me a favor and show a little love to that like button. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought of this action-packed episode. And subscribe so you don't miss any of this little miscellaneousness. I hope you all have an abundant rest of your day. And as always, stay toasty.